Welcome back to Girl Talk, everyone. Joining us now, we have Charles and Billy. They're head instructors and owners at Hwarangdo. Thank you guys for joining us. I think that this is an excellent topic, especially I know this month being October, we're focused a lot on women's wellness. And a part of that is definitely self-defense. That's, a huge component. So I always love having you guys on and learning more about that. And now today, I think let's start by talking about when you are in maybe a potentially threatening situation, what can you do, verbally and in terms of de-escalation?
Yeah, so verbal de-escalation and verbal assertiveness is so important because it's actually one of your first lines of interaction in a potentially dangerous situation. And so it's a good way to feel out the situation, to present yourself in a strong way.
Sure.
And that's also one of the things where if someone's not listening and not responding properly to your verbal de-escalation, you know that this situation is becoming more serious and you have to take further steps.
So it's a good way to begin gauging kind of where you're at in the situation.
Exactly right.
Awesome.
And when you teach this, how is it used differently between children and adults?
Well, some of the common denominators are that we want to be loud. We don't want anyone to fight if they don't have to. For children and adults, when you're loud, you're going to draw attention to the situation, and that might have someone come and give aid, and that's really what we're looking for. But children are going to be saying things that are more along the lines of bullying or potential abduction. So they're going to be talking about things like, stop it or I'm going to tell the teacher, or maybe in a park scenario, you're not my mom, you're not my dad, stay away from me. Where adults can say whatever they want, it might be more along the lines of, sir, stay back, please keep your distance, I don't have cash for you, I don't have the time, whatever it might be.
And I'm thinking in both of those situations or scenarios, it's important to keep a strong voice and be confident about what you're saying.
Yeah, a lot of times when people kind of get stressed out, people they'll raise their voices, or sometimes they become a little out of control. So one of the things that we really emphasize is good breathing. Take a deep breath, focus on your thoughts before you say what you're going to say, and then it projects clear, it projects better, rather than just a ramble or just yelling at someone.
Sure.
Sometimes
Absolutely.
if the situation is already escalated, it's important maybe to slow things down, speak a little more calm to bring the issue down that the person may be having also.
And that's kind of one of the de-escalation techniques as well. And I think that
Absolutely.
is really important because you can be loud without being necessarily rational and collected and calm. So that's
Absolutely.
another really big part of that too.
You bet.
And are there any, I know you mentioned breathing just now, are there any other techniques used to kind of perform de-escalation?
The way you present yourself is really important. So even if you're saying the right things, if your body language is wrong,
Sure.
you're not going to have the same results. So you do want to present yourself the right way with good posture, making eye contact. One of the things we practice is our self-defense stance. If you're using verbal de-escalation, having your palms out, sending that signal of stop, and also having your hands up. If you needed to defend yourself, you can block, defend things, strike if you have to. Standing that way is really important.
So you're keeping an empowered voice and kind of an empowered stance and body language all throughout.
That's really important also, because if there's bystanders that are observing the situation, they will see that you're making all the efforts to make sure that you're doing everything in your power to make sure you're speaking to the person. It's not an aggressive posture. You're asking the person to please stay back, be mindful. You're being mindful of your surroundings and of everything that's happening around you.
I'm interested in how you kind of like create this in your academies. How do you practice this or put it to use?
That's a really good question. For children, one of the things that we do for children and adults is put them in leadership positions where they might be running little components of class or demonstrating drills. We do practice, martial art key-ups, so practicing our yells, and even just counting loud, answering questions loud in class, so that we practice having that commanding voice.
Yeah, building that confidence even a little bit at a time.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
And using it just in everyday life or at the academy, I think just gets people much more comfortable using that when they are in a potentially threatening situation.
That's what we're going to say. Through the repetition, it just breeds more comfort.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely. I can totally see that. And I know you guys like to get involved with the community too. Do you guys have any community events coming up?
Yeah, I actually have a self-defense thing that we're doing this Saturday at 1 o'clock at my West Academy at 6713 Odana Road.
Oh, fantastic.
Yep, there's a number of organizations that are coming in to participate in that, and we actually have some Halloween parties that are coming up at both of our schools also. 24th and the 30th, somewhere around there. Yeah. At both of our martial arts schools. So we have a lot happening.
Well, that sounds like
That sounds great.
And is that something where kind of the public's welcome to come in and see what you guys are all about too?
Yeah, The,
great chance to
the
check
last
you guys
big
out.
thing that's important for us to plug is November 4th, we kick off our adaptive program for people on the autism spectrum at the East
my
Academy.
gosh.
We've been working on this for a while, and it's about to kick off.
Sounds
so.
like a
Doing lots of
fantastic
great
program.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys must be really proud to have that coming to life in November 4th. So
Yeah, we're also implementing after-school programs. I know it's a lot, but
Wow.
After-school programs is also a really big one that we're starting at our North Side school. So we're proud of
a
that.
lot of great things
Fantastic.
coming up, a lot of great ways for you to get involved at home if you're interested in learning more what these guys do. This has been Charles and Billy over at Hua Do. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for
Thank you,
having us.
ladies.
Our pleasure. We'll be right back with more Girl Talk.